Election night is the most important event on a broadcaster's editorial calendar. Very few news events require the editorial production and technical resources required to mount a successful broadcast. Bannister Laith's Chameleon powerful election module provides the essential tools to follow race results, make calls, and generate spectacular election graphics. So whether it is a small regional election or the presidential race, Chameleon can provide accurate election results across all your broadcast platforms. Global televised 3 Canada provincial elections and the U.S. presidential election in the span of about 7 weeks. They produced graphic displays for their on-air graphics, including touchscreen monitors, websites, and their OTT stations. A lot of data had to be synced up for results, including headshots and maps across all those platforms. We recently talked with Global Television's Director of News Technology and Operations, Gerry Belec, and Laith Jadua, who is a graphic technologist for Global News in Calgary.
The good thing here, though, is using Bannister Lake is that, everything goes into the Bannister Lake database, everything. Headshots, names, ridings, results, everything goes into the database, and the database is your one source of truth, right? So if it's right in the database, you have the confidence in knowing that it's right everywhere else. So everything that we do in Bannister Lake, everything we do in an election, from our website to our on-air graphics to our touch screens to our virtual sets to our 70-foot monitor walls in the case of our last federal election, everything comes back to that database. And if it's correct in the database, it's correct for the show.
Global's on-air talent use touchscreen to help tell the story.
By and large, is the best storytelling tool of late when it comes to election data. A guy at a map, literally at a chalkboard for the electronic chalkboard for the audience. It's a great educational tool for the audience, and it really helps support the narrative. What's nice about where we're migrating our election products from less about on-air graphics in the traditional sense with chyrons or expressions or bizarre-t, and we're moving more into the world of HTML5 on a number of levels. And the Bannister Lake HTML5 products through Chameleon, whether it's the designer and the L frame or our touchscreen.
You would expect many graphic artists were needed to build the graphic templates for 4 elections in such a short amount of time. Laith tells us how many Global used across the country and how long it took them.
So if we are talking about the expression, so we are 2, Michael Collins and I, working on the expression. And, the big team, they are working on After Effects, 3D modeling, and, Photoshop, Premiere, most of these graphic systems. Yeah, but for the expression, only 2 for the Chameleon 1.
To put it into context, we had to put together the American election L-frame Laith. I think we worked on that. We put it together in weeks, really. Or you put it together in weeks.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks about, for the US election. Yeah, it was 3 weeks.
Having a proper rehearsal is vital when it comes to elections, and if you need support, you would expect it to be immediate.
We can talk a little bit about the rehearsal tool, probably one of the more powerful parts of the whole product, because you can do real-time rehearsals with all of your data and with dummy data and really run your teams through a proper technical and editorial rehearsal. And that's been the best part of this whole product line, I think. But with respects to the how fast Bannister Lake turns things around, David will be working on his touchscreen, and we're back and forth with Bannister Lake in real time, basically saying, hey, we're in the middle of a rehearsal, and it would sure be nice if we had this, or if we could do that, or we've noticed that this color is a little off. Could you change that, please? And they'll go into the background, update the project. It's all hosted in the cloud, right? And then they just, refresh the screen, and the fixes are there while you're doing the rehearsal. So that's amazing, really. And even during the U.S. federal election, we were seeing some anomalies with the data coming from our data supplier, and Laith had to do some fixes in real time on the L frame while it was on the air. And you really have the confidence, at least Laith has the confidence in making these changes. And the nice thing is, especially with the Chameleon product, when you change it in one place and it changes every place because it's browser based, right? So it's a little nerve wracking, in a live television show, but we do have the confidence in the product and the people behind it.
So if election night is the most important event on a broadcaster's editorial calendar, you will want to see how Bannister Lake's Chameleon Election software can make your election telecast be cost-effective, with accurate results, and easy for your production staff to make those election calls that every viewer is looking for. Make your station a leader with Chameleon Election software from Bannister Lake.